Alrighty everyone, welcome back. It is of course getting closer to the new year of 2023, and once we get there, that's when the Bad Batch 2 is going to arrive, Mando Season 3, the Ahsoka Tano series, and a whole lot more on the horizon. That's going to also be announced on top of that by Bob Iger, Jon Favreau, Dave Filoni, etc. This is Mike Zero. Make sure to subscribe if you're new to the channel for future Star Wars updates. Also, by the way guys, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support. It is greatly appreciated. Now, one thing that a lot of fans have been very much concerned about has a lot to do with Kathleen Kennedy's work with Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte series, and exactly how it's going to interfere with some of the upcoming Star Wars lore, and some of the retcons that will be placed into those two Star Wars shows. Now obviously we've been talking about this for a while, that Kennedy has been causing a lot of trouble behind the scenes, specifically for Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte. And it's just been an ongoing drama after drama after drama between herself, the Disney higher-ups, and others around, of course, over at Disney. So when you look at everything related to what Jon and Dave are trying to achieve, they are ultimately trying to achieve great things by incorporating Star Wars Legends coming back to life, incorporating that into the live-action and animated series, as well as upcoming Star Wars movies in the works on top of that. Now, that brings us to the latest of what's been going on with Kathleen and the Disney board members, and why there's a lot of drama once again spewing, of course, behind Disney's closed doors. Now, with that being said and all, the Skeleton Crew series, we've talked about this, it's by far the most toxic environment so far with a Star Wars project when it comes to the cast and the crew. Now, with Kathleen Kennedy still having issues with both the Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, she has been going through many issues surrounding these shows, the production schedules, and more. With Jon and Dave now stepping on board to help fix some parts of those two installments to actually prevent the shows from being a total failure. Kennedy is also creating more drama behind closed doors that's causing Disney higher-ups to step in and give Kathleen Kennedy a very serious warning. Now, it's noted that the warning that the Disney board gave Kathleen Kennedy that is actually set to be that she does not stop interfering with Jon and Dave's attempts to fix these two shows, to actually disagree that they are going to drastically cut back on the marketing end of these two Star Wars shows. So let me just pause here. Basically, the Disney board members are warning Kathleen Kennedy that if she keeps on trying to interfere with Jon and Dave attempting to fix both Skeleton and Acolyte, that they are going to have to cut back on the marketing of both shows, drastically speaking. We're talking about 60%, right around that, in order to not only prevent them from spending too much money on shows that are going to be a failure, ratings-wise, but also feedback-wise, but from the fans. We have seen time and time again that the marketing for some of the shows that have been put out haven't really been all the best. When you look at Kenobi, that really was not marketed in a clever way. In fact, some of it was very misleading. They had a lot of, remakes of the Duel of the Fates theme and stuff like that was used, and they completely cut that out of the series. And not just that, they also made the Kenobi TV spots have a completely different tone than what we got in the actual show. But moving on to where we are today, there's a lot of things happening with these two shows in particular, because they are going to be going against George Lucas's philosophy and what he actually believes when it comes to Star Wars. So the thing about this that I think a lot of fans need to be very well aware of and skeptical about is that Jon and Dave may be there attempting to fix both projects, but they're not going to fix the entirety of both shows. Let's just be specific. They're only there to fix and/or patch a couple of scenes here and there, a couple of moments here and there, that were otherwise, if they weren't fixed, were going to be extremely canon-breaking. And Kathleen Kennedy is trying to prevent Favreau and Filoni from fixing any of that. And it just goes to show you that that's why there's a lot of drama for Skeleton Crew. It's why there's been a lot of reshoots. It's why that there's been a lot of setbacks. It was supposed to, by the way, finish filming a couple of months ago, believe it or not, right around the end of October into early November. It's not a very long show, so the filming would have only lasted from June until the very end of October at the maximum. So here we are, you know, it is getting closer to the end of December, and it's just not looking good for Kathleen Kennedy. Now, on top of this, Disney, of course, board members are warning Kathleen Kennedy that they could cut back as much as 60% or even more on the marketing of both the Skeleton Crew and the Acolyte if she is going to further create more damage to these two shows that have gone through enough as it is. Skeleton Crew is described to have an even more complicated production, with numerous reshoots and rewrites taking place during the tail of the end of filming of the series. Kathleen Kennedy is said to still be pursuing to prevent John and Dave from making any changes to either Skeleton Crew or Acolyte, and wants nothing to be touched or changed. One thing that they already have been, of course, working on, and one thing that has been changed by Favreau, is for Skeleton Crew that is going to introduce Ahsoka Tano by Favreau as well as Thrawn, and giving Rosario Dawson a big cameo and role in the series toward the middle point of the show. Now, the Skeleton Crew series is going to include a place called the New Beyond. Now, we're not quite sure what the New Beyond entails just yet. This could very well be either A, a brand new galaxy, or B, a brand new region in the already existing galaxy. To tell you the truth, I'm really hoping it's not the other, where they're going to explore a different galaxy. I know it's been done before in Legends, but it wasn't all that well received with Star Wars fans, even at the time. So that's exactly how the Yuzong Vong, by the way, came into the picture. They came across from a different galaxy into the current one that we all know and love. Now, the thing about Skeleton Crew is that, like every other show, it's going to have its own tone, it's going to have its own feeling, if you will. It's going to be its own thing. They're calling and labeling this more or less of a quest show, a Star Wars quest series. Kind of think like Pirates of the Caribbean type of scenario, right? Going from checkpoint to checkpoint until you meet your final destination. That's what the Skeleton Crew series is going to be. It's going to be very different than Mando, Ahsoka, Kenobi, Boba Fett. It's not going to be anything like that. It's not even going to be like The Acolyte, which, by the way, The Acolyte is labeled as a mystery thriller. So you see, each and every show is almost like its own genre. And yeah, I kind of like that. Because, you know, Andor is like a spy flick, you know, almost like a drama cat and mouse type of style show that's very much mimicking some of the movies out there that have been done before. But overall, Kathleen Kennedy is having a very tough time, not just with Skeleton Crew, but also with Acolyte. Let's not forget that she has creative control over both projects. As of late, not 100% control, because John and Dave are now on board under orders from the Disney board, and they are trying to really fix some of the major damage that has been done. This is, by the way, you have not been hearing all that much about Acolyte and Skeleton Crew, or you haven't really been seeing all that many promo images, especially for the Acolyte, which has been filming for a very long time now, you know, for at least, you know, a month and a half, you know. So, overall, guys, drop a comment below. Let me know what you guys have to say about all of this below in the comments, and if you guys did enjoy the content for today, make sure to drop a thumbs up on this video to support the channel. I thank you all so very much for the kind support, and I'll catch you guys next time.